he's coming to school or not. That's all. It's like a money making. And these are the I was going to this website where they talk about the corruption rank of some of these countries. China was rated in 79 worldwide in corruption rank, um, and I think India was same. India was very close. The corruption ranking of India was around 79 also. And then these are like, other countries, how they rank in corruption. Nepal, where we're getting a lot of international students, 131. And this is a website I was telling you where you can buy actually fake degrees online, and it's, I'm not, you can still go to these websites. It's not like I took a picture very long time ago. This was fairly recent. So another website which sells fake degrees. And the same article talks about how institutions can be irreparably harmed with fake degrees. Another one, fake diploma from an Indian university, different price range. What do you guys want? And we actually don't know how these websites operate. Why can't we shut them down? Again, this is so because these are websites, being operated from other countries. Um, so along the same lines, that how many of these international students or even domestic students, they can hire people to do homework and research project, write papers on their behalf. Um, and these are our, towards the end, our observations that because the quality of education in other countries, it's not like all the international students are like that, but we're just trying to um, basically bring everyone's attention that there is so much fraud out there, and um, how basically these companies or students are able to game the education system. There was another article which talks about that they in China they had these like a pin-sized transmitters. Even in India they were using that, where students were forwarding the pictures of the questions, and then someone outside is actually helping them with the answers. So cheating has become like a, it's like a normal in India. And then private tutoring, um, this is actually so common in India, and we talked about that in another module too, that in certain states, almost like 80-90% of the students are basically taking private tutoring. And a lot of these students basically they are only studying for standardized testing. They don't need to do much lab work, any extracurricular activities or sports, volunteer work, or many other things. Participate in clubs, which we expect from our domestic students. But again, we cannot verify their, whatever they are putting on the applications, it cannot be verified. So they know that. There's the same article, like we talked about in the beginning, that the percentage growth of Indian students going outside of their country to study, it's very high. 85% of the international Indian students are heading to 5 countries: US, UK, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. And even they're going, some of them, to China and Germany too. Again, many consultants. If you search in any big city in India, you will find educational consultants easily, and the cost of labor is low. So this is the same. We already touched that. Um, it talks about how basically this enormous increase in outbound mobility from China is creating a perfectly like a it's a breeding ground of corruption, academic fraud, um, and it's creating a big industry. And it's we already discussed the causes, because here universities do not have systems in place with which they can verify um, who is genuine and who is not genuine. And you can read more about on this website online, that this is not just to Asian countries, India, China, Korea, Nepal, even students coming from Russia or some other Eastern European countries, Bulgaria, Croatia, Serbia, um, they all basically were gaming the system, using illegal methods to gain admission to universities. Talks about essay mills and plagiarism. We already discussed this. There are some sites which are making like tens of millions, basically, just writing essays to the web. And that is so true. I even tried that. If you write on Google any, want to write an essay on any subject, right away on the side a ad will pop up, or how soon you want the essay, for how many words, um, what type of style, and this, and then it tells you this is how much they will charge. And there are websites in ghostwriting service UK Essays. They sold 16,000 assignments, up from 10,000 5 years earlier. This many this problem is a worldwide problem, actually. Then it talks about how students basically, when once they come to US, a lot of them are able to actually find jobs here, because these like, let's say someone is running a IT consulting services or some other type of services. They can hire these students and pay them under the table, and then actually get the work done in the name of maybe someone genuine employee. So these students, they don't have much problem in finding part-time work. So coming to US was just like a gateway, and then they can look for part-time jobs easily. Another article talks about that how now India is basically becoming the #1 source of illegal immigrants to US. So this is in Wall Street Journal, that India is the fastest growing source of new illegal immigrants to US. A lot of these, again, they are coming here on genuine visas, but then overstay and many other ways they're able to stay here. Um, so you guys can read more about this, issue online. Let's move on. That how the students or people who gain their access to US, how are they breaking the immigration, the rules of immigration, basically in US, or by overstaying their visas and many other ways. You can read all that online. And there was a problem in Australia too, that many of these Indian students were going to Australia and not actually then dropping out of the schools and working on other part-time jobs or full-time jobs, but getting paid under the table, and completely, like, going there for something else and then ending up in a very different direction. So now it's going back to the same issue, that we need to have proper these credential verification systems in place, otherwise we will always be vulnerable. So let's go to the next module after that.